Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're dealing with another seasonal championship. This one is called Chihuahua Express and we're in anything goes S1 class. So yeah, nice variety of vehicles that we'll get to choose from, but we will not be getting to choose from this F150 SVT Lightning. Yeah, this is firmly placed in C class, and I very much doubt even upgraded it will be all that good in S1 class. So yeah, won't be using this, but we'll have plenty to choose from regardless. Hypercars, supercars, and you know, Grand Tours and the like. So yeah, let's get there at a fairly rapid pace in this quick car in a straight line, but not exactly quick round corners vehicle. Yeah, see where we're going to be racing and what we're going to be able to race in.
You have arrived at your destination.
Right. So we're going to be mostly over to the right here. So yeah, we've got a huge variety to choose from. We've got the likes of the Acura NSX, we've got 3 Aston Martins, got the ATS GT, we've got a couple of Audi R8s and the RS6, which for some reason is in this class. I must have it upgraded for something. And then the BAC Mono, then we've got the M4. Now we could go in the Isetta, which would be hilarious, but it would never work. And then we've got the Bugatti EB110, brace of Corvettes. Then we've got the Dodge Vipers, the Doncavort, brace of Ferraris, which is kind of to be expected, to be honest. Then a bunch of Fords, mostly the kind of hoonigan kind of stuff, and the upgraded Forza editions. Then we've got all the drift cars, more hoonigans. Got the Italo Design 01, the Jaguar CX75, Cummins XC68S, both the KTMs, bunch of Lamborghinis, including the S3J, which is a car in the current festival playlist, I think, although obviously it was in one of the previous ones. Then we've got the fabulous Lexus LFA, Lola, then the Lotus, then the Maserati Forza edition, then a bunch of McLarens, yeah, then the Mercedes AMG, free from Mercedes-Benz themselves, the MG, the Mini, which is actually an electric version of the Mini in Forza edition version, and I've fully upgraded it, and it is pretty hilarious to drive in a straight line, but handling and braking could definitely be better. Then we've got the Nissans. We'll probably try out the new Nissan GTR that got added to the game recently. Then the Noble M600, the Pagani's Zonda Cinque, then a bunch of Porsches, Land Cruiser, which is upgraded, TVRs, and the Vool. So yeah, we're going to start off with the Nissan GTR, purely because it's a new car to the game. It only came out a few weeks ago, or a month or so ago, can't remember really. But yeah, huge amount of power, all-wheel drive, all the handling that you could ever ask for, decent amount of weight to it, but as you can see, acceleration, handling and braking are all top notch. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what this can do on a race, because I don't think I've actually raced it yet. So yeah, probably going to prioritise cars that I have not raced, that are pretty new to this game overall, to be honest, on this championship. It's not often you get to choose anything from a certain class, so yeah, definitely going to take advantage of that. Right, so let's see what this can do. Surprisingly, this does not have the best launch, which is surprising given its all-wheel drive system and decent amount of torque, but more than makes up for it with its handling and straight line speed. Obviously we have more handling the faster we go, as the aerodynamics play their role. Even though we've had numerous other, you know, Nissan GTRs in Forza games before, and you know, pretty much all of them in this game, it is nice to at least have this version of the Nissan GTR, because it is probably going to be the last one. Certainly in terms of, you know, only being combustion. In terms of only having a combustion engine drivetrain. If if they do make a new one, it's gonna be a hybrid at least. Potentially could be all electric though. So yeah, interesting to see where they go with it next, if they do go with it at all. But it's at least nice to have the ultimate version of the what is currently the last generation. Camaro though, ZL1 1LE I think it is still also pretty formidable in terms of, you know, as far as rear wheel drive muscle cars go. Chevrolet really nailed the handling and the power balance with that car. Which is pretty impressive considering that has 50 horsepower more than we do. It's also got 650 pounds-feet of torque, all going for those rear wheels, and yet it's pretty stable to be honest. Whereas this actually feels a little bit more on the hairy side at times. Could be because it's somewhat relying on aerodynamics a bit more to provide the handling than, say, that Camaro, which, yeah, has a big rear wing, but doesn't have the front wheel drive aspect with the all-wheel drive of this going for it. The all-wheel drive is inevitably going to provide more grip at the end of the day, but if you've only got it going for the rear wheels, then you're going to have to balance that car really nicely. Camaro has done that, but undoubtedly we are the better handling car purely because we've got the all-wheel drive system and the aerodynamics, which has just about given us the win on this race. So yeah, not a convincing win by any means, but a win regardless. And yeah, importantly gives us those 20 points. Which gives us a nice start to this championship. So yeah, the Centenario came in second, the RS200 surprisingly came in third, Ford GT it came in fourth, MG Metro 604 came in fifth. Fortunately the Camaro dropped back a fair bit, but still, we've got the 20 points, and all that really matters. So yeah, let's get on to the second race. So this race is a circuit one, so we're going to have to prioritise handling here. And yeah, even in that regard we have a fair old amount to choose from. But then again, you also have to balance the handling with the acceleration, because you don't want a car that can handle brilliantly, but then you're not really able to get it out of corners or make the most of whatever straights there are. So yeah, we're going to have to pick wisely here. Now, you could easily say get the Expo or the Expo R, but as good as their handling is, the acceleration isn't the best. So yeah, and I think the SVJ is a little bit too large for such a circuit. Although the Huracan Performante is tempting, because that is a lot smaller than the Aventador. So we'll have that on our radar. In all honesty though, a McLaren might well be the best thing to go for. Because the lack of an all-wheel drive system is going to make it a little bit more nimbler in such a circuit environment. Yet the handling isn't as good. It's 7.7 and the Performante is 8.2 and the braking is 7.8. Braking on that is 7.9. So they're not a huge way off. Also tempted by the Speedster purely just because I enjoy driving that car, but again the handling and the braking is even worse on that. I want to go for the 600 LT just because it's a bit daring, I feel. Yeah, let's go for it. It might not work out. I think the Huracan Performante is the obvious choice to go for. But the obvious choice is not generally always the more fun choice to go for, so yeah, let's see what the McLaren can do. If it lets me down, it lets me down, but I am interested to see what it can do. alright so far. Just have to get used to the fact that this is a rear-wheel drive car as opposed to the Nissan GT-R. Come on, get past these Corvettes at least. Saying that, I think they're all Corvettes, so it's probably the wisest choice to get past all of them. Bit of understeer there, unfortunately, which I wasn't expecting given lack of all-wheel drive. Surprised how well the Corvette is doing, because even though it's clearly been upgraded with those rear wings on them and the like, that had all that much in the way of PI to play with to match this. Obviously, the standard Corvette had way less power than this standard McLaren did. Ooh, drifty drift. Well, again, not a resounding victory, but a victory regardless. But yeah, the McLaren did struggle a little bit there at times. Again, like I said, it was somewhat in regards to getting used to the fact it's only rear-wheel drive and has even more power than the Nissan GT-R. But still, well, thereabouts the same kind of power. But even regardless, you know, still having 600 horsepower going through only rear wheels is a fair bit different to 600 horsepower going through all of the wheels. But yeah, regardless, we've got 40 points now. With the 3 Corvettes right behind, so yeah, let's nonetheless get on to the third and final race. Right, so this final race is a point-to-point, and yeah, I'm going to go for the Lamborghini SVJ. It's big, it's powerful, it's got all-wheel drive, it's got plenty of handling and braking, really good acceleration on launch, and yeah, the top speed is pretty formidable as well. 759 horsepower, so yeah, that should easily give us a chance at winning this race. So yeah, let's see if it can finish us off on a 3 out of 3 win. Now this is probably my favourite car of the 3 that we've chosen today, purely because it's just everything you want from Lamborghini. It's big, it's loud, it's show-offy, it looks great. So yeah, let's see if that all comes together for a win. So it's got all-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering. Just like the other 2 cars, plenty of aerodynamic downforce as well. Snuck past 3 other Lamborghinis there fairly quickly. This is fast. Nearly nudging 200 miles an hour there. Oh dear. often that we're in pretty quick cars on these seasonal championships, so yeah, to be getting to these kind of speeds is a rarity, but one that is welcome regardless. Oh, if it wasn't for the hill and that slight corner there, would have pushed past 190. That's fantastic brakes coming into work there. We're slowing our momentum down, but also dealing with the slightly damp roads. It's a pretty good point to point though, this one. Nice mix of good corners, fast corners, slower corners, and plenty of straights to go with it as well. So you can properly let that naturally aspirated V12 breathe and do what it does best. Oh dear, tried to overwork my pudding there a little bit. Final corner. Get around it in style. And finish the race in a blaze of loud noises and garish paintwork. Yeah, that was definitely a more convincing win that time round. Finish off this championship, and a pretty fun championship as well to just let you choose whatever you wanted out of a really rather quite eclectic class there. So yeah, full 60 points, 16 points ahead of the Nissan GTR from 2012, so not the one that we were in the first race. 18 points ahead of the Centenario and 20 points ahead of the Huracan. And yeah, that all importantly means that we get the really rather nice prize of a 2008 BMW M3. Now we are going to continue a little bit here because we are going to try out the SF90 in the Rivals on the Festival playlist, because I wanted to see what it's like and show it off to you guys as well. Because yeah, I'm not going to get the full 80 points out of the current season because there's only about 50 points available. So yeah, you have to get the full 80 as you can see, and you can only get about 50 in this current season, but should hopefully get it in the next one. And yeah, doing this monthly Rivals at the Playa Azul circuit gives you the 4 points for the entire series. So yeah, it's well worth doing because it contributes not only to the series overall, but also each season as well. So yeah, let's see what this absolutely insane Ferrari can do. Obviously I have none of the numbers to hand because this is only a Rivals event, but it is a properly quick car, no doubt about that. So let's set a couple of laps. That's ridiculous. We're getting up to the kind of speeds of the Aventador on far shorter straights. God, this is ludicrously quick. Does make me think though, how much further are they going to be able to push it in terms of power in any kind of car really? Because there's been huge leaps and bounds in such a short space of time in terms of the kind of power getting out of cars. Didn't see 5 minutes ago since we were marvelling at the Bugatti Veyron for having 1,000 horsepower, and now pretty much every car is getting up to that. That is, you know, an expensive hypercar or supercar. And that Aventador was only about 240 horsepower down on the Veyron. So yeah, get up to more than 190 down there. Pretty sure this has 1,000 horsepower or thereabouts. Yeah, definitely looking forward to reviewing it now that I've driven it on here. I'm not sure about it in some regards in terms of the styling, but no doubt at all that this is a properly fun driver's car. Yeah, that's ludicrously quick. But yeah, there we go. That's just going to be a couple of laps with that car. So yeah, I am looking forward to reviewing it. Hopefully I'll have it in the bag in my garage in next week, or the week after at least. So yeah, but nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.